Chelsea look to bounce back following yet another defeat, and with that becoming a regular statement for Chelsea, it begs the question of what is our current form and why is it just so unpredictable as of late. As always, please like the video, subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel moving forward. Everton, a team that, given the previous run of games, the treacherous run of games, the level of competition, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Newcastle, Everton would have been seen at the start of the season and at the start of that treacherous run, as I've mentioned before, as a breath of fresh air. Everton would have been seen as that game to maybe cool off after said treacherous, grueling run of games, run of fixtures that was seen by that. To be fair, we did well at the start. Towards the end, it fizzled out and everything. We know how it went. But now, here we are. Opta have come out with statistics to suggest that we have the easiest run of 5 games. Obviously, Man City with 4 there, but Chelsea with 5 games in December. And yet, here I am, and here you are thinking that we could easily lose this game against Everton. Currently sat in 17th place. Everton have been in a bit of better form over the last couple of months, with their place in the league now not reflecting, however, how well they've been so far. Without the points deduction, much to the absolute confusion of many, but also none at the same time, Everton would actually be a point ahead of us. So remember that. Remember to factor that in coming into all of this, and when it comes to the predictions that you have later on at the end of the video. Similar to us, away form for them seems better, which also gives us hope, as ours too is better, not as of late, because we've lost obviously 2 on the bounce now. Home form, however, for Everton, a bit dicey. It's a little bit dicey, but all the same, they're coming off the back of back-to-back wins against Nottingham Forest and a 3-0 win over Newcastle, which shocked pretty much everyone, to be honest with you. A team that beat us 4-1 not long ago. And for those thinking back-to-back wins, not really that impressive. It's been a long time, other than the recent one against Fulham and Burnley back in October. We had one set of back-to-back victories since March of this year. Again, against Fulham and Burnley, back-to-back wins are hard to come by, to say the least. Head-to-head, and Chelsea could win consecutive Premier League matches at Everton for the first time. Can you guess? For the first time in 15 years. 15 years. 5 more than 10 years. Our 1-0 victory at Goodison Park on the opening day of last season ended a run of 4 Everton home wins in a row in this Premier League fixture. So it's not easy. Goodison Park for Chelsea is not easy. For Everton, they have won back-to-back Premier League games for the first time in 14 months. The Toffees have won 8 of their last 12 fixtures in all competitions. So again, they're looking all right. You know, it's still Everton. They're still a little bit hit and miss at times, but overall, they're looking all right. They're looking decent, which for us means we're absolutely fucked, to be honest with you. They could earn successive home victories for the first time since February. For Chelsea, coming into this game, we have won only twice in our last 7 Premier League games. The Blues have lost our last 2 league matches away from home following a run of 3 wins. So it was going well away from home. Now, not so much. Chelsea have won just 1 of our last 8 Premier League away fixtures, played on a Sunday. Bit of a stretch, this statistic, but played on a Sunday, beating Aston Villa 2-0 last season. Team news, and well, surprise, surprise, still no Christopher Nkunku. What's happening with that? Nobody seems to have a fucking Scooby-Doo anymore. Nkunku and Lavia have returned to training, but are unlikely to be included in the matchday squads. Conor Gallagher is available following his suspension. Lineup-wise, I think now with the return of Gallagher, who for the most part seems to be a huge miss in midfield against Manchester United the other day, will easily return back to the starting 11 with Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez either side of him. In defence, I think James will return, hopefully. We thought he would for the United game. I mean, he did, but not from the start. Following obviously both suspension and a slight injury concern, more so to do with fitness, which again, fitness, the problem a lot of the time. Again, I personally am still not a fan of Levi Colwill at left back over centre back. I would much prefer him at centre back, but I expect to see him there again with Disasi and Thiago Silva in the central positions. Up top with Gallagher now back, I think Mudryk gets the drop, gets the boot with Palmer now back out wide with Sterling on the opposite side. Mudryk just kept getting in the positions that you want him to get into, but just so frustrating. And in games where you need to be taking your chances, you need to be putting things away, he had several chances to that most players on form or that can shoot, can finish, do anything with the ball, to any minimal degree in the world of professional football would have put some of the chances that he had away. But likewise, I just don't think he starts now with Gallagher coming back into the central role, Palmer back out wide, Sterling out wide, obviously, and Jackson up top doing diddly squat as per usual. Predictions-wise, and, well, I personally am not really hopeful coming into this game. Absolutely over the moon that I'm going to miss this one, which probably will mean that we get a 6-7-0 win. Everton have somehow taken their points deduction and used it as momentum. Again, I can't stress enough, obviously. 1 point would be the difference between the two of us. And for Everton, who were nearly relegated last season, the fact that we are technically a point behind this Everton side says a lot. As mentioned, our form at Goodison Park is far from convincing over the last few years, and with our away form dwindling somewhat, I think this will be a struggle once again, especially, we all know if we go 1-0 down, it's going to be a struggle. It's something we have to try and steer away from. Let's also, again, not let the table fool us. Everton would be 1 point ahead of us without the deduction. So they're technically having a better season than us, as it stands. So this really shouldn't, have been seen as a certainty, unlike what it was once seen prior in the earlier parts of the season. I rarely predict a defeat, and it really pains me to do so, but when I've predicted wins, we always lose, so hopefully this can do the opposite once again. I just don't see us winning after recent performances, and three back-to-back losses away from home is entirely possible. It really is. 2-0 to Everton is my prediction. Again, they're not a 17th place side this season. They are a 9th place side, I believe. Where are we at the moment? We are 10th, so that would make them 9th or 10th. Make them 10th and we would be 11th. But still, 2-0 is my prediction for Everton to win. Let me know your predictions down in the comments down below. A reminder that, again, I will not be doing a watch-along for this game, but I will be back for all of the remaining games this season. Every single game, whether that's in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and Premier League, and so on. Please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. As always, my name is Harry, up the Chels, and peace.